Hey everyone, and welcome back to another explainer. Grab your favorite minimal notebook and a pen and maybe settle in at your desk because today we are completely tearing down and rebuilding how we think about discipline. We're looking at a really fascinating 30-day blueprint that completely flips the script on habit building. Now, if you've ever set this massive, life-altering goal only to watch it totally fizzle out, well, this source material provides a really comforting and highly actionable new perspective. The core premise here is that your life doesn't actually change because of one giant dramatic decision. It changes because of what you repeat. We always kind of think we need to wait around for a sudden lightning bolt of motivation, right? But the research in this blueprint reveals something way simpler. It's just about small actions done consistently. We're unpacking a system today that isn't about becoming some totally unrecognizable person overnight. It's about becoming someone who finally has actual control over their daily actions. Okay, let's dive right into this and see exactly how it works.
So why do we always quit? Be honest with yourself for a second. Think about those wildly ambitious New Year's resolutions. You buy the expensive new running shoes, the gym is literally packed to the brim on January 2nd, and then boom, by February, it's a total ghost town. We have all been there, right? And the source material actually spends a lot of time validating that struggle. Usually you try to wake up at dawn, start an intense new workout, eat perfectly clean, and maybe even try to learn a new language, all at the exact same time. And after 3 days, you just stop. It's incredibly frustrating. But the text suggests we've been diagnosing the problem entirely wrong. You see, we're constantly falling into a massive trap called the overload. We try to wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym for an hour, prep a flawless organic meal, and read 30 pages of a dense book, all before the sun fully comes up. It's a complete shock to the system. The data reveals that our brains simply rebel against this level of sudden, massive change. Instead, the blueprint we're looking at suggests a radically different and honestly far more sustainable approach, stripping it all down to just 4 core habits. That's it. Forget the massive life overhaul. We're stripping away all the noise to focus on 4 foundational actions that act as a domino effect for the rest of your life. It's a fundamental shift from trying to do absolutely everything poorly to doing just 4 things incredibly well.
Okay, listen to me on this one, because this is honestly the most liberating takeaway from the whole thing. You aren't lazy. Seriously, you are just overloaded. Failing after a few days isn't a lack of discipline, it's definitely not a lack of talent, and it's certainly not some deep moral failing. It is the natural, inevitable result of cognitive overload. Your brain physically cannot handle rewiring that many complex routines at once. It takes massive amounts of glucose and mental energy to forge new neural pathways. So, by stripping away the noise and the excessive demands, we can finally stop fighting our own biology. When we reduce that heavy cognitive load, we can actually start making real, tangible progress without hitting that immediate wall of burnout. So how do we fix it? Well, instead of a complex overhaul, the source outlines 3 wildly simple steps to start the day. Step 1, absolutely no phone for 30 minutes. Step 2, drink some water. Step 3, just sit quietly or quickly jot down your plan for the day. Sounds almost too easy, doesn't it? But there is some really deep psychology behind this. The research notes that the very first hour of your day essentially decides the trajectory for the rest of it. If you wake up and instantly grab your smartphone to check emails or scroll social media, your brain immediately gets hijacked into reaction mode. You're suddenly responding to other people's emergencies and notifications. Executing these 3 simple steps keeps your brain out of that reaction mode. It grounds you, and it puts you in complete, undisputed control of your morning. Now here's where we tackle procrastination right out of the gate with the second pillar. Do one hard thing first. No overthinking, no delaying. Every single day, you need to pick one thing you have been actively avoiding. You honestly probably know exactly what that task is right now, just from me saying it. It's that awful email sitting in your drafts or that tough conversation you need to have with a colleague. And you just do it first. The absolute crucial point here is to do it before your brain even has the chance to logically talk you out of it, because our brains are master negotiators when it comes to avoiding discomfort. You have to strike before the negotiation even begins. And this brilliantly illustrates a core concept from the source, the actual definition of confidence. We always kind of treat confidence like it's a prerequisite, right? Like something we need to have before we take action. But the text flips this entirely. True confidence absolutely doesn't come from endless mental preparation or reading a dozen self-help books or waiting until you magically feel ready. It comes entirely from doing the things you usually avoid. By tackling that one hard thing immediately, you are literally manufacturing confidence for the rest of your day. You create a psychological win that proves to yourself you are fully capable of handling discomfort.
All right, moving on to the third pillar. A lot of us think we need this massive, unachievable amount of free time to completely transform our lives. Like you need an 8-hour unbroken block to get anything meaningful done. But the text emphasizes that just 1 to 2 hours of deep, focused work daily is the absolute sweet spot. It is more than enough to change everything over the course of these 30 days. The source cites various productivity studies showing that humans realistically only have a few hours of high-level cognitive focus in them per day anyway. So, by intentionally carving out just 1 to 2 hours, you completely relieve the pressure of that ridiculous 8-hour grind and allow yourself to engage in truly deep, meaningful work. But, and this is a big but, to actually extract value from those 1 to 2 hours, you have to set strict boundaries. Limit all distractions. No scrolling, no notifications, no random videos, no interruptions. The text makes such a fascinating point here. The biggest enemy to your progress isn't a lack of time in the day. Your biggest enemy is the constant low-level hum of digital distractions. Think about this. It takes roughly 23 minutes to regain deep focus after just one interruption. If you're checking your phone every 10 minutes, you are literally never doing deep work. You have to fiercely protect this block of time. Turn the phone off, close those extra browser tabs, make it just you and the work. That is where the magic actually happens. Transitioning over to the fourth and final pillar, tracking. As the old saying goes, what gets tracked gets improved. It's like putting the pieces of a pyramid puzzle together, one simple turn at a time. Your entire checklist boils down to 3 simple daily boxes: morning control, a hard task, and focus time. That's the whole shebang. Checking off these 3 items daily is how you build absolute, unstoppable momentum. And the source actually delves into the neuroscience behind this. When you physically check those boxes, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. It registers a solid win. And that dopamine doesn't just make you feel good for a second, it physically fuels your internal drive for the very next day. You are literally hacking your own reward system so your brain craves consistency. Now, what happens when you inevitably mess up? Because let's be real, you will. We're human. The blueprint has a very crucial rule for this. Miss a day, that's fine. Just don't miss twice. Things happen. Emergencies come up. You get sick, or maybe you just straight up sleep through your alarm. The text is incredibly clear that this entire framework is fundamentally about sustainability and giving yourself grace. It is absolutely not about unattainable, punishing perfection. If you stumble, you don't throw the whole month away in frustration. You just reset. The key to long-term discipline is making sure that one missed day doesn't spiral into a brand new habit of failing. You just get right back on the horse tomorrow. Which leads us to a massive midpoint shift in our thinking. According to the text, consistency beats intensity every single time. We are so heavily conditioned by modern hustle culture to believe we need massive, intense bursts of effort to succeed. We think we have to pull all-nighters or grind for 100-hour weeks. But burning out in 3 days accomplishes literally nothing. The data overwhelmingly supports the idea that showing up consistently, day after day, with just moderate effort is infinitely more valuable than showing up with extreme intensity for 2 days and then completely quitting for a month. It's the classic tortoise and the hare, just updated for modern productivity. So to actually stick with this, setting expectations is key. The source maps out exactly what you'll experience psychologically over the month, which is so helpful so you don't panic when it gets tough. Check this out. From day 1 to 3, nothing feels different. You might literally think this is a total waste of time, but push through it. By week 1, the research shows it feels noticeably easier as that initial friction starts to fade. By week 2, the routine actually becomes familiar. You stop fighting yourself. And by day 30, it's just normal. It's not forced. It's not this daily struggle of sheer willpower anymore. It has seamlessly started to feel like a deeply ingrained part of who you are. As we wrap up the core concepts of this explainer, I really want to drive this point home. These 30 days are not going to magically fix your entire life, okay? All your problems won't instantly vanish, and you won't suddenly become a completely flawless human being. But the ultimate payoff here isn't perfection anyway. It's absolute control. You will have built the ultimate psychological foundation. By sticking to these 4 pillars, you will have proven to yourself, through undeniable, repeated action, that you can reliably guide your own focus and dictate your own choices, rather than just being swept away by random distractions or old bad habits. Which leads us to this final, provocative thought. Once you actually have that control, what will you build? The foundation is officially there. The habits are set. Now the real construction of whatever you want to achieve can begin. Whether that's writing a book, starting a business, or just being way more present with your family, you now have the exact tools you need. You don't need to wait for a lightning bolt of motivation to strike. You can start incredibly small, right today with these 4 pillars. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I truly cannot wait to see where 30 Days of Control takes you.